NVIDIA Max-Q gaming laptops have arrived with GeForce RTX graphics cards, and I managed to get my hands on one. This here is the Acer Triton 500. It's got a 6-core processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and the RTX 2060 GPU. Personally, I think that these specs are perfect for a thin gaming laptop if you want the most value for 1080p gaming compared to the RTX 2070 or 2080 laptops. I gotta say though, I really like the design of the Triton 500 over their Helios. It doesn't have that overused black and red gamer aesthetic. It's much cleaner in my opinion with its sleek design and those thin bezels. The Predator logo also lights up, which looks pretty cool. There isn't that much flex on the keyboard deck or the display since the frame is made out of aluminum. It doesn't feel cheap though, it feels like it's built pretty well. The keyboard is nice, it's backlit and RGB, but only through 3 zones. However, you can set some pretty cool lighting effects using their Predator Sense software. All the keys are spaced nicely and I didn't run into any issues reaching any of the keys. The trackpad is a bit small for my taste, but it works really well. It's using Windows Precision drivers, it's very responsive, and it recognizes all of my gestures, so no real complaints here. The screen gets really bright with very great viewing angles, and it's also accurate enough that you can edit videos or do color-sensitive work on it. The speakers are located on the back. Now they don't sound that great, they're more on the tinny side, but either way you should be wearing a headset because the fan noise is pretty loud. While gaming, they do ramp up quite a bit, but if you end up overclocking the GPU, then it gets even louder. For ports, you get a decent selection. You got 3 USB 3 ports, a full-size Ethernet jack, 1 HDMI, and on the other side, you get a mini display and a USB Type-C that's Thunderbolt 3 compatible. Unfortunately, it does not have an SD card, which is something I expected on a laptop with this price tag. You can even use the Thunderbolt 3 port here to charge any of your devices while the laptop is off, which I find very useful. Okay, now let's talk about the performance because that is where this laptop shines. First off, this laptop is great for productivity, specifically editing 4K video. The 6-core 12-thread processor was able to edit my 4K files from my A7R3 very easily using Vegas Pro. I was actually very surprised that the laptop was not only able to cut 4K video, but it was also able to provide smooth playback even after adding effects, transitions, and color grading. So if you do plan on using this laptop for editing videos, whether it's 4K or 1080p files, then you'd be pleased to find out it can handle it. When it comes to gaming, the RTX 2060 kicks ass. I was getting around 90 FPS on average for Apex Legends on high settings. Achieving over 100 is definitely possible if you tweak the settings or lower the quality. The rest of the games I was getting well over 100 FPS on the highest settings and I didn't experience any lag or stuttering once. If I could only pick one thing that I really like about the Triton 500, I would have to pick the software. The Predator Sense gives you many options to tweak your laptop, from fan settings to RGB lighting and even overclocking the GPU, which is my personal favorite. There's even a dedicated button for it right on the keyboard, and once you press it, it will launch the program. The overclocking feature is very useful and it actually works. If you set it to extreme, it will overclock the GPU up to 100 MHz on the boost clock, and it actually increases the performance in games. I was getting an average of 4 FPS more per game in exchange for a louder fan noise. Again, I don't recommend taking this to a library or somewhere quiet because the fans do get annoyingly loud, especially if you're overclocking the GPU. The highest the CPU peaked while gaming was 92 degrees, which is pretty toasty, but I didn't experience any lag or thermal throttling. I much prefer a louder fan noise over thermal throttling. The Triton 500 is using an 82 watt-hour battery, which got me around 5 hours of use with a screen brightness of 200 nits. I think Acer did an excellent job with their new Triton 500. It's a thin gaming laptop that kicks ass in gaming and productivity with a 144Hz refresh rate and a decent battery life. I'll drop a link below if you guys want to check out the Triton 500 from Acer. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, consider dropping a like, and if you didn't, you know what to do. Thanks again so much for watching. As always, I will see you guys in the next one.